Another Green and Tidy Live. I'm Rachel Papworth, the online professional organizer, liberating you from the shackles of clutter and chaos for peace of mind and productivity. And there are two things that I want to talk to you about this week. One that comes from a client and one is personal. Oh, and my exciting news is that, exciting for me really, is that I've got a new webcam. So hopefully those annoying black bars that you've been seeing at the side of the screen on YouTube every time I use my PC to make a video will have disappeared. And maybe just the picture will be clearer, etc., etc. I can't wait to see the video myself and see. Anyway, on to the business of the day. So the story from the client, and the message here is about when you think that you just couldn't possibly let go of something, but you haven't actually gone through it systematically yet. So the example I want to talk to you about is books. I was working with a new client on Monday, lovely lady. We are beginning a complete declutter of her home. And we did a section of the home. If you follow me on YouTube, on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, you'll have seen some before and after photos. And after we'd done the main bit, we just spent an hour or two on books. We moved to the next section of her lounge, and so I said, right, let's do this cupboard here. And on top of the cupboard, there were lots and lots of books piled up. The cupboard was full of books as well, but on top of the cupboard, there were lots of books piled up. And I said, let's start up there and do those. She actually has bought a new bookcase, which she hasn't assembled yet, to store books. But I said, well, let's just see if we can get rid of any. And she was like, oh, I can never get rid of books. I know, books are sacred. I can never let go. It's something about books. They feel special. I can never get rid of them. And I was like, okay, well, look, if you decide to keep them all, it's fine. There's no problem. But let's just go through them and see. And guess what? She got rid of almost all the books that were piled up on top of that cupboard. I mean, really, like almost all of them. They were covered in dust, and a lot of them were books that she bought to help her kids when they were at school, like kind of get better at maths or whatever. But her kids are grown up now, and actually the books had already been written in, so they couldn't even be given to the charity shop. They just had to be recycled. And then there were quite a lot of fiction books and non-fiction books and all sorts of other things that she actually was really happy to get rid of, like Victoria Principal's workout book from 1983, things like that. So the message is that it can feel like you're sure that there's nothing that can possibly go from an area, but when you start to go through it systematically, you might be surprised, and that can even apply to something that seems sacred to you, like books. So that's the first message that I wanted to share with you today. The second thing is I just wanted to tell you about something that I'm doing in my own personal decluttering. Again, if you follow me on social media, you've probably seen me say that I was going to take on a declutter of my digital photos. Actually, I said I was going to do it ages ago when I did a declutter of my physical photos and my photo prints from before digital photography. And I enjoyed the process so much, not only getting rid of all the rubbish, but also finding the gems in those photos, that I said then that I was going to go through my digital photos, but I hadn't yet got around to it. And then I had to do a data migration from one hard disk to another. And it did make me realize that although it is true, I said in my digital decluttering course that the important thing with digital data, with digital stuff, digital files, is to be well organized. Really, you're very unlikely to actually run out of space. It's the one area where you possibly can solve your clutter problem with storage, because it's unlikely, unless you're a total data hoarder, it's unlikely that you're going to run out of storage space. But you do need it to be searchable and well organized so you can find what you're looking for. And my digital decluttering course obviously goes into that. However, when it came to doing a data migration, it made me think actually it is easier when you have less data. So I decided to finally get around to doing that digital declutter, that declutter of my digital photos. And I'm enjoying it so much again. I'm enjoying both getting rid of all the drafts, all the duplicate photos when I've been on some wildlife holiday and I've got some good photos of the wildlife and lots that I don't need to keep. But also, of course, finding all the gems. I've been finding some lovely photos of my dad, who you might remember passed away recently, and my family are getting together this weekend. So I'm going to just print them out off my computer onto paper and take them with me to remind people of some really happy family events. So it's another one really where we think, I've been thinking, I couldn't possibly go through all those, and I won't want to get rid of any anyway. But when I've come to do it, I've so far got rid of about a fifth of my photos, and really I haven't let go of anything important, and I found all those gems. So really the message is the same for both those points. Don't assume that you are not going to be able to let go of something. Go through it all systematically. You might be surprised. What do you think? Now, are you still thinking, I am not going anywhere near my books? Stay away from my books, woman. Or are you prepared to take on a declutter of books or something else that you've always regarded as pointless because you'd never let go of anything. Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next YouTube live. Oh, I'll put a link for the digital decluttering course. Since I've mentioned it, I might as well plug it as well. So if you're interested in sorting out your digital life, there'll be a link for that in the information below this video too. See you soon. Bye.